we get into this Super Bowl bubble. Week 11 is upon us, ladies and gentlemen, and the NFL season is anything but normal. I think it's 100% the best season we've seen. Any given Sunday has now turned into anyone's division, anyone's game, anybody's league or conference. Fees, we'll start with you, though, man. Give me your Super Bowl bubble. Who's in, who's out? And I think you said you might have fringe contenders, long shots. Tell me what you got there.
I do have fringes to go along with all the rest of it. But we got to start with who's inside the Super Bowl bubble. I only have 4 teams that are currently sitting in the bubble. Because, I mean, the bubble is a very finicky thing.
Right.
You can't just have everybody in there. So now we're going to start with one of the teams at the top of the bubble. And, I mean, we could just go from the top of what the standings are. The Green Bay Packers, they're sitting at 8-2, 4-0 at home, 4-2 on the road. I mean, there's really not a lot bad to say about Green Bay as far as what they're doing for the regular season. The 2 games they lost, one, Aaron Rodgers didn't play, and the other, Aaron Rodgers didn't actually play. Week 1 is like he tried to sabotage the team. I mean, you can't erase a loss because they did get decimated by the New Orleans Saints. But at 8-2, they're sitting real nice right now. The defense is looking better than it has in probably the past decade since the last time that they actually won the Super Bowl.
Yep.
So Green Bay, you have to have them in the Super Bowl bubble. I've also got the Dallas Cowboys in the Super Bowl bubble. They're sitting at 7-2. They have some very big wins. I mean, Dak has been playing extremely well. The bright spot for Dallas is the fact that their defense has actually showed up. I mean, they have some knocks against them as far as if you get out to an early lead, it changes their game plan, and then they ultimately can't adjust, but that doesn't seem to have happened very many times. They've only lost 2 games this entire season. The Denver game, to this point, seems like it might be an anomaly. I mean, they lost a tight game to Tampa in the opener, but all in all, the Dallas Cowboys look like they might be lining up. Because one thing that I didn't say a couple of weeks ago, when the Braves won, just a thing to note, they last won in 95. They had a 26-year drought. You know who else last won a championship in 95? The Dallas Cowboys. It might be one of those history starts repeating itself. Say, when the Braves win, the Cowboys win. I don't know. I don't know.
You go get Graham all in his feelings, bro.
I'm not calling it. I'm just saying. The last time one thing happened, the other happened. The Dallas Cowboys are very much so in prime position to right the ship. So they're absolutely in the bubble. We've also got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for all the reasons that we've mentioned earlier in the show. Tampa Bay is sitting at 6-3. They aren't quite as high as the others in the record. I mean, they're only 1 loss behind, but they also have been missing players, and they've got that guy that's named Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. So when you have him behind center, so long as you make the playoffs, you pretty much have a legitimate shot to win a Super Bowl. So they're absolutely inside the bubble. My last team inside the bubble is going to have to be the Tennessee Titans. I don't believe that they have a legitimate shot to win the Super Bowl, but I can't deny that they're in the bubble right now. Tennessee has more wins over top-rated teams than any other team in the NFL. And they've gotten wins over good football teams without their best players. The biggest concern with the Tennessee Titans right now is the fact that there is no Derrick Henry, and how long can you sustain winning without your best player? I mean, he was in the running for MVP. He was definitely going to lead the league in rushing for a 3rd consecutive year, was probably going to be his 2nd consecutive year over 2,000 yards. That is something that is damn near impossible to replace.
Yep.
So moving forward and going into the playoffs, I can see all of the steam that they built up being completely extinguished. But as it stands, 10 weeks in, the Tennessee Titans, they have to be inside the Super Bowl bubble.
No Cardinals. Did I hear you right? No Cardinals?
No, that's my 4.
Heard. Respectable. I know the coach. And Kyler is actually now facing an ankle injury. He said he might be ready to go for Sunday. We'll shadow that a little bit in the picks. So, yeah, man, I actually just removed one. I could remove a few more, but the way these teams have been playing this year, 100%, I have these 6 NFL teams right now.
6?
Inside, yes, sir, my Super Bowl bubble. I'll start with the Buffalo Bills from the top. We know who the Bills are. Very, very lethal offense and defense. The numbers support them. Yeah, you can push them around a little bit at the line of scrimmage. There's no doubt about that. And Josh Allen has been a little bit shaky this season, but I think they're going to even out. They're clearly taking teams completely out of the water. And, you know, they should have beat Tennessee as well. They, of course, did lose. But if Josh Allen is able to complete that quarterback sneak, we're talking about them probably on a completely different aspect. You know, definitely ahead of the conversation in the Titans, although a lot of people have the Titans right now as maybe the best team in the NFL, and you can't argue that. But I definitely have the Buffalo Bills inside my Super Bowl bubble. Speaking of those Tennessee Titans, I will throw them in there as well inside of my Super Bowl 56 bubble. The way they're playing right now, there's no question that they deserve to be in here. They have the most grit, I think the most ambition right now in the NFL, you know, playing with their best player out. Feels like their backs are to the wall, and we're not going to talk about the offense stepping up, even though Tannehill looks extremely comfortable. It's that defense that's really performing for them, getting back to that 2018, 2019 Titans that actually was up there in turnover margin and would stop you, would get pressure on the quarterback. That's something that we've seen Tennessee struggle with. And even last year, Tennessee's defense really took a step back, which shocked a lot of people. Now, I'm going to agree with you on the Dallas Cowboys. Of course, they're in. What don't they do well at this point? They'll cut you up with Zeke and Pollard, who might be the best back tandem in the league right now, considering Chubb and Hunter kind of floating around in, you know, the health status. Dak Prescott's playing the best football of his career. He has all the receivers to throw to, and the defense is actually about a top 10, top 12 defense this year in yards per game, points per game. They're going to make it tough for you. They get pressure on your quarterback. They have a lockdown corner right now. There's not enough we can say about the Dallas Cowboys, and it feels weird calling them inside the Super Bowl bubble, but hey, they're playing well enough to get in there. I am going to have the Arizona Cardinals as well, and the only reason I don't hold them out is because I know Kyler is going to be able to come back. He's looking good, like I just mentioned, to play this Sunday against Seattle. Nuke Hopkins, of course, is going to be able to come back, be their second or first best player on the team. And they're still extremely balanced. Cliff Kingsbury is doing everything he can. Talked about him for Coach of the Year last year, but I think this year he's going to be able to really get this his claim, or stake his claim. There we go. Excuse me. Got to get my down here, man. I know you had to help me earlier. But the Arizona Cardinals 100% will be in that Super Bowl bubble. They're just very balanced. They're explosive, and they're playing great football right now. Another team that I am going to have here, I almost put them outside, but the fact that Green Bay's defense is playing as well as it is, easily the best defense Aaron Rodgers maybe has ever had. They're getting to your quarterback. They're stopping you on the ground. They're stopping you through the air. This is the third best defense points per game wise in the NFL right now. And, you know, with us having Seattle upsetting with a comeback from Russell Wilson, that offense was virtually invisible. Okay, they absolutely disappeared against that Packers defense. And I think that game there, yeah, it was an injured Russ, but we know the type of offense the Seahawks have been and what they've always been. And go look at the numbers for the Packers. Now, I do want them to get another receiver in there next to Devontae Adams. But overall, they're clicking on all cylinders. And the last team that I'm going to have here, of course, still holding true for these guys to be the Super Bowl champions and go and represent the NFC. It is going to be the Tampa Bay Bucks. I know they're going to get healthy on the defensive side of the ball with their secondary. Tom Brady had one bad half. Go figure. The guy's 44. He's still playing great football. And when you get AB, when you get Gronk back, when you talk about the rest of their schedule, this is a team that 100% I trust the most and I think has the highest chance out of everybody to be able to make it to the Super Bowl.